Welcome back to the Fight Rundown episode, either 188, 189 or 190.
Fucking no clue.
No clue.
Absolutely no clue.
Today we're here with the Fight Rundown legend, Fight Rundown's own Joe Horton. How are we doing, Joe?
All good, mate. All good.
Good.
Get closer there.
Good to be back on the pod. Obviously, it's been a long time, hasn't it? So,
Yeah.
good to be back on again.
We was just saying off the pod, boxing has been absolutely booming at the moment.
Yeah,
There's plenty to talk about. But first off, before we do all that, we'll just talk about you for a little bit. See how you're progressing in your young career.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
how are you feeling at the moment? Are you good headspace?
Yeah. Obviously, I had 2 fights on the weekend just gone. Obviously.
Carry on.
What are you doing?
Stop with the music, man.
Obviously, in the Ed Bilby Box Cup, who was a lad who died, obviously, through the amateur game. Obviously, in the semi-finals, won on the Saturday. Bot's a fairly decent kid, you know, a kid with 20 bouts, no mug like. And I knew in the final I had to step it up. Boxing a good kid called Mikey Doran from Manchester. A few more fights than me, coming overweight, and I got beat on a 3-2 split, which, you know, could have gone either way, but, you know, it's the amateur game, it's all about learning, and, you know, it's what you do after it, really.
Good point. Of course, you've been training hard all year, kind of committed to the gym all year. What was it like, obviously, knowing you've lost on a split? Do you feel like you won, first and foremost? And also, what is it like when you feel like you have won, if you did? And also, know it and getting the wrong result?
Yeah, I feel like I won. Obviously, I've watched it back a couple of times now, and, you know, I still feel the same. But, obviously, when you put so much into the game, it's a bit of like was it really worth it? But when you know you've done well and you've performed, obviously, on a big stage, you know, there was plenty of people there. Obviously, 3 rings, you know, it's all happening at once. So, obviously, you just got to go off your performance, really, and, you know, just think, how can I do better? And I'm not going to let it happen again. Obviously, I went into the bout confident. Obviously, winning the day before, you're like, oh, dead eye. And then, obviously, you lose, and it's like a little come down after it, which isn't very nice. But
Sure, balls knows.
A little bit, not as much as this guy to my left here, but I know what he means with the when you feel like you've won and then you've lost. It's you just got to think of it as that apprenticeship, haven't you? As I like to call it, you know, it's just such a young lad. A loss is nothing in the amateurs, really. Of course, you want to win every time, but it doesn't always work out like that, does it? So fair play to you. What do you want to talk about first, mate?
I mean, we'll stick on the amateurs for a bit. Of course, working at that level, you fought some crazy tough opponents, some of the best in there. Of course, you are one of the best in there. You got any amateurs that you think you kind of look at in the higher weights, maybe that you think, geez, they're something special?
Well, obviously, you look at, like, the harder regions in the amateur game of people like London. The London regions where you got, like, West End, Repton, obviously, all them ones. And, you know, you've got good kids like, you know, your Connor Mitchells and who were like 57 kilo elites. And you've got people like Leo Wood who were winning the elite ABAs at 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like, they're the sort of lads that, you know, are top of the game. And, you know, you look at like Cameron Viong, obviously pro now, but, you know, winning the elites in his first year and turning pro with Eddie Earn, it's like, you know, who's to say no one else can do that?
Is that the level you're looking at? You got that elite. Do you think that elite standing in amateur boxing is what takes you to the next level?
Oh, yeah, 100%, obviously.
And do you feel like you need that before ever thinking about going pro?
Yeah, you need a good amateur career, because obviously it's baby steps to when you get in the pro game. Obviously, I think, really, you should be having a few elite and senior fights, obviously, no egg guards, you know, getting used to it a bit. But obviously, if like people like Royston and Barney Smith and them lot, they didn't even have any senior fights, so, you know, they're stepping it up straight away, and, you know, look at them now, doing well for themselves, so... You know, it's just about the experience and how you're progressing at the time to then go into the pro game, really.
What about you, Bowles? What's your thoughts? Do you think a good pro makes that amateur jump first?
Well, I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate here, because I agree with you too. First and foremost, I do believe that, and an extended amateur career is important. I do think that, but it doesn't always work out that way. I mean, you look at the likes of Audley Harrison, who've been in there, had a great amateur career, Olympics, whatever, and he just didn't make it.
Dropping some facts,
weren't cut out for it at the pros. But I will agree with you that it does help. I believe it does. And speaking of Audley Harris in the Olympics, whatnot, we was talking briefly about the Olympics, and obviously it's coming up soon. What are your thoughts on the Olympics in general, or the Olympic boxing? I know that at the highest levels there is some politics involved, and some little behind the scenes betting, possibly, allegedly, maybe. But what are your thoughts of the Olympics coming up?
I think the Olympic Games are quite a good thing for an amateurs. Obviously, you got people like from England, Luke Campbell, obviously Amir Khan, obviously you got Joshua who won them. All the big names in England have been at that stage, and obviously Russians, they're not allowed them anymore, are they? Obviously for cheating and drugs cheat, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you get the odd dodgy decision, like, you got to look at Michael Conlan, for example,
Yeah.
Mayweather. Mayweather's was fucked.
Yes, Mayweather's as well, yeah.
But then, obviously, that's the bad side, because it's still the amateur game. So, there's always that bad side to it. But I do think the Olympics is a good thing for an amateur, because, people like me look up to that and think, wow, imagine if you could get on that stage, that platform, your name's out there, really, isn't it?
For sure. 100%. We mentioned obviously loads of boxing going on. So talk about the pro game for a bit.
Yeah.
It was a crazy card this weekend. Might as well get your thoughts. You can listen to ours already. And if you want to know more about Joe, we've already done an episode, kind of the intro, anyways. On some shit mics back then. Just saying, quality. Sounded pretty washed. But what was your thoughts on the Usyk Fury fight? Everyone at work. I don't know if you get it, Balls, and even you, Joe. Just the bare casuals being like, should it have been over? Should it have been over? I must have asked it 20 times.
Yeah.
But, what was your thoughts on that? Because personally, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the standing count. Bowles, what would you say?
No, I didn't mind it based on the circumstance and the magnitude of the fight. I thought it was okay. Just for that fight, though, really.
Joe?
Yeah, I thought it was, you'd say that the ropes kept Fury up, and that's why he did it. You see Fury take a few stumbles back, and he was out, wasn't he? He was out on his feet. But that's what a real champion is. To stay on your feet and get through that. That's what a real champion's got to do.
Yeah.
So the ref did the right thing in letting it go, because obviously if it was stopped there and then, and then you look at Fury, and on all three judges' scorecards, he won the last round. So after being rocked and knocked out on his feet in the 9th, he's then come back and won the 12th round, which was a little bit too late, but. That's what a champion does,
Yeah.
You got to come through it.
Yeah, as I said briefly as well, based off Fury coming back against Wilder from that vicious knockout, he's got it in him to stay in the fight after something like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. To be fair, the whole card was pretty madness as well.
Yeah, enjoyed the whole card, mate.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the full thing.
One thing you did mention on that card, Anthony Cache versus Joe Cordina.
Yeah.
That was probably the most shocking thing that happened on the card.
Definitely is, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really expect it, if I'm honest. You see Cordina come out, and I think Cordina's quality.
Yeah.
He's quick, he's got
good
fast
operator.
reactions, Obviously, won the world title from Rakimov. He's beat some good names, but, you can't stand in front of someone like that, Cache, because they're going to unload on you, and you know that. Obviously, he got hit hard and put face down, no hands, face down. And but then he coming back and won the next round.
Yeah.
Which, what a world champion does again. But obviously he got hurt, and that was it really. But it was sad to see from Cordina, because, from the amateur game, that's someone you look up to.
Yeah.
Who's been through it, and who's a quality operator, and, they're getting knocked out on a big stage. But it's never the end, is it?
Ball said it perfect. Kakashi was starting every combo with a hard punch.
Oh, 100%.
I think it was you winning. You did say that, Balls.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And Cordina just looked like he was absolutely out of it. And crazy.
Say they had a rematch, almost an instant rematch. Do you think Cordina would be a lot more clever in the next time and probably get the win if they're boxed again?
I think Cordina would just box. I don't think he'd, stand there and take them shots, because a lot of the time he was tucking up.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
Obviously, you can't really do that against... Obviously, but looking at Kakachi's record, you wouldn't think he's a bit of a puncher, because what did he have on his knockouts? 7 knockouts.
Is that 7 knockouts? Yeah,
that's what I mean. So you wouldn't really think he's a puncher, but to do that to Joe Cordina, who's a world champion, it's a big statement. That
yeah, for sure. I mean, that card top to bottom. Them Riyadh cards are crazy. Are you a fan of the Saudi stuff?
I am, yes, but I do think that English fights should stay in England.
Yeah,
of course.
Obviously, you've got big fights that can happen in England. You don't want them going over to Saudi and getting for the more money. But you got to think the atmosphere that English fans can
generate.
Yeah, generate. Create a good atmosphere, and it's better for the boxers, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously, regarding the payday, but payday just comes with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for example, Fury Joshua is probably going to happen in Saudi, isn't it? Like, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
But then, I read something today. Do you think Joshua and Fury will happen? Because I think Fury's going to activate that rematch clause.
Yeah,
I think
he will
he is.
do. Yeah.
Everyone's saying he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to retire.
No.
I think he's going to try and win it back, and if he doesn't, you've got Joshua Fury there.
Yeah.
It doesn't really need a title. It would have been better if it happened in 2017, but it's what it is now.
How many do you reckon that does in Wembley?
How many times over?
How many people? Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's the
true.
question. You could do a 2-night event.
Yeah, it probably could.
Fury against White, he did what, 110,000.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You was at that one, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, me and my dad and my mum was there. Like, that was a good fight. It wasn't lived up to the expectation, but the atmosphere was unreal. And obviously, if that's Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury,
it's true.
That would be a great fight.
I think it's maximum capacity, isn't it? I don't know what that number is. Was it literally packed out?
Oh, yeah.
Was the floors floor seats completely packed?
All like the dead tall ones at Wembley were gone, and that's 110,000. I think that's all you'll get in it, if I'm honest.
I don't think you can get any more than that.
No,
I don't think it could even hit 110,000.
No, neither. I thought it was 100.
I always thought it was
80.
I always thought it was 80,000 from Carl Froch.
Oh yeah,
always saying it. I've never heard him not talk about it.
Yeah, when I fought in 80,000 people. Oh, Carl Froch, legendary.
Pull a bat and a push.
Could have a little pull and a push.
I do like Carl Froch though.
Tommy hit that one on Henry the other day. Speaking of, actually no, before we get to that, I've got to ask you, Carl Froch or Calzaghe in the prime? How is it actually happening? And I know your answer already.
Yeah, you know it already. I've got to say Calzaghe, if I'm honest. I think he's got to be one of the best boxers on the planet. The way he boxes and moves is unreal, and he's done it against high quality people.
Probably one of the most underrated, isn't he?
Yeah.
He never gets his respect.
Yeah, he don't really get his credit because he couldn't really punch. But when
he won a name, he didn't trash talk.
When you know the boxing side of it, you think, wow, he was great. I think obviously Carl Froch, great man in himself. Punch, and he was a boxer. And you see him like against Groves, he got a bit exposed in the first fight.
Yeah,
got a bit exposed. Obviously, got put down on that. But look what he went on to do.
Yeah. I mean, I reckon it'll go Calzaghe maybe 11 rounds and Froch will win the last. One of them type of fights.
But then you say that, would Froch knock him out in the last round? Because what he did to Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Down on all the cards in the 12th and does that. It's...
Possibly. What do you say, Balls?
Calzaghe as well.
Yeah. I reckon Calzaghe would survive it, though.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to this card. Obviously, the 5v5, big talking point at the moment. Let's go through a few of these fights. Quick fire, Hutchinson, Richards. What do you rate the fight as well, matchmaking wise?
That's a very good fight, I think. But for me, I think that's a step too far for Hutchinson. I think Richardson's been there. We've been in there with your Bivens and Joshua Buatsi.
Craig Richards, isn't it?
Yeah. He's been in there with some top people, and Hutchinson stepped it up for a British title and got wiped out.
Yeah.
Who did he get wiped out by?
What was it? Lennox Clark, was it?
Was it? I don't think I've seen that one.
British and Commonwealth title, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one, to be fair.
But he got hurt bad. Obviously, it was on a Frank Warren show. I don't think there was any crowds. I think this was in lockdown.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But, Hutchinson hasn't really done a lot. But I do think that, the Dom Ingles style, obviously a style that I like, is what he carries.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's with Dom Ingle anymore, but, he's got that about him. So I think it's a good fight, a good matchup. But I do think Richards take this one.
Bowles?
Richards as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call Richards purely because I just listened to what you guys have said. Nick Ball versus Ray Ford. This might be the closest, like on paper. I don't know. I know who I've got.
I know who I've got. We've spoke about this, haven't we?
Ray Ford.
Yeah.
But
Got Ray
Joe?
Ford as well.
Well, I like Ray Ford in the style that he brings, and obviously I'd look up to someone like him, quick southpaw. But for me, I really want to back Nick Ball and say he's going to knock him out late.
Sound geezer, Nick Ball.
Yeah.
He is a sound geezer.
I mean,
explosive guy.
You look at his last performance, he's beat some good lads, but the time he stepped it up and he stepped up, and I think he should be WBC world champion.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it should be.
we was all together. We all had 20 quid on it.
Yeah.
Balls just never won a bet. And then he puts that on.
Like a round left and he's still
In
fucking
it.
lost.
Yeah, cause you would have won about 70p back.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know. Ray Ford is just so good.
Ray Ford is good, but like his last fight, he stepped up and he put a very big performance in to win that WBA world title. But I see I see he got hurt a couple of times, and Nick Ball with an explosive side he's got on himself. I think he could knock him out.
Ray Ford has shown that. Ray Ford has just shown there that he's carries the power till the last round, and
Good point.
and a championship mentality of being hurt a couple of times and coming back. It's a good fight. It's close, isn't it?
It's a good fight.
It is, like I say, it probably is the closest fight.
Yeah.
And preparations for Nick Ball will be quite good because obviously Everton Red Triangle, they've got Peter McGrail.
Yeah,
Peter
yeah.
McGrail, a class southpaw in himself, so
Yeah.
they'll have some tactics behind that one, I reckon.
Well, this is my favourite fight on the card. I preferred this to Bivol Beterbiev. I was that hyped when it got announced.
Yeah.
And that's Hamza Shiraz, of course, fighting Ammo Williams. Oh my God, that is an insane match, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, it is,
Hamza
to be
Shiraz,
fair.
super humble. Ammo Williams, king of Balenciaga. Behind
Yeah.
Brandon Buckley. Like, which way is it going? Like, I don't know how to call it. I think that's in a way a bad matchup for Shiraz. But also he needs to win fights like this to take him to the next level. I think I'm sold on Shiraz though after the Liam Williams fight.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I really think Shiraz can step it up this time, after what he's done to Liam Williams and just like completely destroy him in what was it? It was a round, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah, the first round. 3 knockdowns.
Dude, that's Liam Williams. You're going somewhere and this is his step up now and he's just got to take it with both hands and show what he's about.
Yeah, for sure. Bowls.
I think I've got Ammo Williams.
Have you?
I think,
not a bad
yeah.
There's no wrong answer,
I
is
feel
there?
like I could count on one hand how many rounds Ammo Williams has lost in his career so
Yeah.
far
Good
from what I've
point.
seen. I mean, I'd love to see the step up against Shiraz. Shiraz is so quality, and it's such a great fight.
Best fight shots in the game.
I'd be
as
happy
well,
if
by the way.
Shiraz won, obviously,
Yeah.
the countryman, the boy, but I'm gonna go for Ammo Williams.
Hot take. Not quite.
It's not quite
And then
lukewarm take.
the Big Bang Zhang. Do your impression, Bowls.
I'll bang you. I'll bang you.
Versus Deontay Wilder.
You do it as well. Go on.
I will bang you. I am Big Bang.
Yeah, it's better than mine.
Nah, I don't know, man. Yours was legendary on the episode ages ago. Yeah, Wilder, not even signed to Matchroom, of course, but he's been brought in on a free agent.
Yeah,
I don't quite know what that means.
he's on loan, isn't he? Basically.
Yeah, he's pulling a loan transfer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Zhang pieces him,
Yeah.
and I'm a Wilder super fan.
Yeah, so am I, to be
Yeah,
fair.
no, I think obviously Zhang getting beat in his last fight by Joseph Parker. Obviously, credits to Joseph Parker for that. Everyone thought Joseph Parker was going to get sparkoed and got put down twice in the fight and still won it.
Yeah,
Fair play to him for that, but
the fight of two halves.
really,
That wasn't it?
yeah. Really, I've got to think this, and I think this is win or die for Wilder. Really, if he don't win this fight, where's he go from here?
He's washed. He's
So-
completely washed if he don't
So
win this fight.
he has got to win this fight, and I think that's what edges me towards Wilder a bit more, knowing that this could be his last fight if he don't win.
Yeah, Bowls.
He's done it his whole career, and his whole career has been under pressure, not only just in the ring, but, at home with his daughter. He's always been under that pressure, and he's always handled it. Zhang is like a brick wall as well, though. Like he's like almost an immovable object. I'll get the words out. It's I'm still gonna go for Zhang for now. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Zhang.
Yeah.
But I think Wilder's gonna put in a better performance.
This one I don't care about, low key. Dubois versus Hergovich.
You think it's a foregone conclusion? Or?
I don't think it's an obvious fight. I think it's actually low key a decent fight, but I mean, we've spoken about it multiple times. I know what you think, Joe, but Bowles sold me on Hrgovic. Said this guy seems like he could be the man, and then he's kind of put a snoozer on every time, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. I've got to say, Dubois, after obviously, he got knocked out by Usyk, but you look what Usyk's just done, and he's just he's
low key Dubois with an absolute comeback story from Joe Joyce's I situation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, I hope Dubois wins. Obviously, Britishman, you want him to win, but I don't know. It's not one of the better fights on the card, is it? And
if there's one you're gonna miss, it's this one, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for Dubois. I'm gonna back the English.
Joe,
I'd say Dubois.
I'm taking Hrgovic, I think.
Yeah. I'm backing the English here.
I don't know. I'm still not sold. I've got beef with Dubois. Still got beef back in 2020.
Yeah, you
man.
do a little bit.
He's just so annoying. He's just like, I can't look at him.
Nah, it's funny.
Just comes out with shit, man.
It's
like
funny.
just can't stand him. So honestly, I'm still scarred from that Joe Joyce Dubois bloody press conference, man. In lockdown as well. No fans there.
Yeah.
Awful. And then the main event, Malik Zanad versus Bivol. I mean, what a shame, innit? What a shame for
What a shame.
Yeah.
I was looking at this guy today at work, but I mean, literally, if anyone's going to know it, it's either you or Tommy or Joe. I don't know anyone on this list.
Jerome Pamploni's decent. It's a good win.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was ranked in the top 10, I think. And
fair play.
So, yeah, that's a good win in itself. Undefeated fighter. You got to rate anyone who's going to step up on short notice against someone like Bivol taking the opportunity. You can expect him to come out all guns blazing and ready to put on a fight and put on a show, because this is the opportunity of his career. You can't underestimate that.
Yeah, good. I mean, great point. Again, Bowles just sold me on the fight single-handedly again.
Just like Bowles said, I think he will come out all guns blazing. Like Bowles said, it's a one in a lifetime opportunity, in it, to box someone like Bivol, who's just beat Canelo and stepped up, and he's probably ranked in the top 5 pound for pound.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come and try give him it, but.
It's about writing your name in history books, isn't it? That's what he wants to do.
Good point.
And he's got a chance. So
I mean, look at Lyndon Arthur. How impressed was we all with Lyndon Arthur, with how good he looked against Bivol?
Yeah.
Put a lot of respect on his name, didn't we?
Yeah.
So.
And I do think that Bivol will just be too much for him, after the hard fight that he was meant to have with Berbatov. I don't think he'd have slowed down in preparations or anything like that.
No. Yeah.
He'll 100% want to put a performance on to show Berbatov, like, I am what I am. And
yeah. He's the number one, isn't he?
Yeah.
You did mention pound for pound right there. And I feel like we have this hotly contested debate at the gym. And luckily, it's 2v1 right now. I've got balls on my side. Give us your top 5 pound for pound rankings.
Right now.
I'm going to write this down so I can make a little graphic. Joe's pound for pound.
I'd have to say, after the weekend, Usyk has got to be number 1.
Wow.
I really do think that. And then number 2, you're not gonna like me first, but Terence Crawford is off at number 2.
Okay.
And Inouye's off at number 3.
Inoue
I just think I think Crawford's technically better than Inoue, and if they was to, obviously you compare them, Crawford's boxed the better people. Obviously, winning undisputed against Errol Spence is no mug.
Yeah.
Obviously, Usyk beating Tyson Fury, who's meant to be the man.
Yeah, 100%. Who's your 4 and 5?
Well, then I think 4's got to be Canelo. Obviously, his resume just says it all for me, really. Number 5.
Tough one, this is like the blurry area, the foggy area.
Yeah, the grey area.
This is where you get the one where it's like you've got like 15 fighters in your head.
In it,
all the same.
Yeah, because we all have the similar top 4.
Yeah.
I mean, you're having them 4 in the top 4 most likely. Bowles is probably putting AJ there.
Yeah, I'll stick AJ in there.
Yeah, that's who I was about
really?
to go with. Lomachenko.
Jeez.
You just see obviously what he did to Kambosos. I said to Tommy and obviously you that he'll beat him on points. Obviously,
yeah.
To get the knockout was a bit of a bonus, but You see the skill.
Caught that.
You see the skill of Lomachenko and how he goes around it. It's unbelievable, really. I think.
Well, me and Ball's gonna try and commit to every first of the month a what's it called, a pound for pound list on both MMA and
an
boxing.
updated list.
So keep an eye out for our TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at the Fight Rundown on that. I mean, you've been keeping up with the MMA. I know you're not an MMA guy. We always got to ask it, haven't we? Try and balance it for the audience.
What about MMA?
Anything about the MMA? I know you don't fuck with the MMA.
I don't really know a lot. Obviously,
is Conor McGregor winning his return fight? That's the question.
Not if he keeps going out on his Lamborghini yacht partying. No,
he's the boy. And then, what are the random questions can we ask Joe before we wrap it up?
Obviously, I should really follow it. Obviously, it's a fighting sport, but I don't really pay much attention to it.
Yeah, it's a hard sell, isn't it? For some people, I completely get it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, any fantasy fight in boxing right now?
Any fight?
You can make one fight right now. You've got all the promoters in the room. You got Bob Arum, you got Frank Warren, you got Eddie Earn, you got Carl Greaves. I mean, what are you matchmaking?
I'd have to say Terence Crawford v Canelo.
3-0 in one day.
Because I think that's the time that Crawford would get the actual respect for his name.
Great point.
I really do think that Crawford would beat Canelo. I really do think that. But obviously, it's the weight's going to be an issue, I think, to make it happen. Obviously, Canelo at 168 and Crawford's now at 154. I don't think he'd come down to 160, Canelo. I don't think he'll do that.
Yeah, me and Ball said this. You're looking at £500,000 pot, though. Yeah, I mean, sure, would Canelo get down to 163? Would Crawford want to give that much weight?
Yeah, then is Crawford going to go up to that? That's the question.
Who's the A side? None of them, really.
Yeah.
Nah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a
tough
one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else, Balls, or?
No, not really. Don't think so.
Hopefully we can get Joe on more regularly. What's the plan? Is it just stay in the gym, have a bit of a holiday, and then straight back in September?
Stay in the gym, stay on it. Obviously, I'll have more championships in about October, November. Obviously, stay around for them. Obviously, that's my aim. I want to win a national title. Obviously, from when I haven't been on here, I've probably won 3 East Midlands titles, and then with the belt as well. Nice. On the that's how far I haven't been on here, isn't it?
It's been a minute.
Belt and stuff like that.
Yeah, you had that Birmingham fight. You had the Halifax one.
Yeah.
A couple of home shows, I think.
When did I come on here? After the...
It's been about 15, 16 months, hasn't it?
Home show, didn't I? When I boxed that lad with a few more, double my fights.
Oh, was it the Yorkshire champ?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So it's been a long time, hasn't it? But, hopefully just stay in the amateurs, stay focused, and I'm going to get to where I want to be, so...
100%.
Well, we'll hopefully we can get Joe on much more. Yeah,
Definitely,
I mean, if you're down, we're going to have to do it too, though. It's decent, isn't it? We're going to have to do more, so... Yeah, make sure to keep an eye out for what Joe does. Is it one Joe HORTON on Instagram?
Yeah, one Joe HORTON, yeah.
And of course, shout out to your sponsors.
Yeah. Thank you to all my sponsors, including you two boys. Obviously, sponsorship's hard to get at the moment, so I'm thankful for everything I'm getting, and I'm just going to keep pushing on, keep doing what I do.
Let's go.
Yeah, so follow us at The Fight Rundown on all social media. I will see you next week.